Minister van Justitie en Politie, de heer Harish Manoran, gaf tijdens de 40th Annual General Meeting and Conference of Caribbean Commissioners of Police aan wat deze vriendschap en commitment betekent. Verder ging hij in op de 5 essentiële zaken die van groot belang zijn.
This conference represents more than 4 decades of partnership, dialogue, and collective commitment to security and public safety within our Caribbean region. Before I continue, allow me to extend sincere appreciation to the ACCP Secretariat, the President, the Organizing Committee, and all individuals who have worked tirelessly over the past year to make this conference possible. An event of this magnitude is not realized overnight. It requires months of planning, coordination, dedication, and sacrifice. To all those who work behind the scenes, often without recognition, your efforts are deeply acknowledged. I also wish to warmly acknowledge all delegates and distinguished guests who traveled from across the Caribbean and beyond to be present here today. We understand that for some of you, your journey to Suriname was not without challenges. Long travel hours, demanding schedules, and difficult flights were obstacles many had to overcome. Yet, despite these challenges, you are here. Your presence demonstrates commitment, dedication, and belief in the importance of regional collaboration. For this, we sincerely thank you. This year, Suriname proudly hosts more than 20 participating countries under the theme Organized Crime, Implications for Regional Development. This theme is both timely and urgent. Organized crime, as all of us know, does not recognize borders. It infiltrates economies, undermines institutions, corrupts systems, exploits vulnerable communities, and threatens national and regional stability. Therefore, its consequences extend far beyond policing because it impacts economic growth, tourism, governance, and it impacts investor confidence. Above all, it impacts the safety and well-being of all of our citizens. This reality, ladies and gentlemen, demands a united response. No country in our region can effectively combat organized crime in isolation. Regional security, therefore, requires regional cooperation. It requires intelligence sharing, stronger partnerships, operational collaboration, legal harmonization, and mutual trust. In this spirit, I wish to propose the consideration for the establishment of more working together towards the eradication of crime within our Caribbean community. An organization like this could examine the evolving threats posed by organized crime and advise and coordinated regional initiatives to prevent, control, and reduce criminal activity while respecting and strengthening national efforts. Our governments must continue to support law enforcement in this mission. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to reflect briefly on 5 principles that I believe are essential not only for the effective law enforcement, but for strong institutions and safer societies. These are entwined during these days of the conference. Leadership. Leadership defined by responsibility. As leaders within law enforcement, you shape more than institutions because you shape culture, discipline, and public trust. Another theme is dedication. Dedication in policing is more than a profession. For many, it is a calling, long hours, missing family moments, etc. But dedication is what keeps institutions functioning when systems are stretched. And then there's an issue which men don't really talk about, which is love. And perhaps love is not always a word associated with policing. Yet I believe it belongs here because it is love for one's country, for justice, for community, and for future generations which makes that you are here today. Furthermore, another theme that we are also confronted with daily is tragedy. Across our region, tragedy has shaped many of our security challenges. Families have been devastated by violence, communities have been destabilized by organized crime, and young people have lost to narcotics, trafficking, gangs, and exploitations. Behind every statistic, therefore, is a human story, a grieving parent, a traumatized child, or a future interrupted. This is why our work must never be reduced to reports, figures, and percentages. We must never normalize loss, and therefore, we must work in the security for the protection of life, opportunity, and hope. Finally, I would like to stress something about nothing. At first, nothing seems harmless. It is invisible, insignificant, unimportant. Yet many major threats begin in what we fail to notice: a small gap in legislation, a weak institutional process, a missed intelligence signal, a neglected neighborhood, a vulnerable young person. What appears to be nothing today can become tomorrow's crisis, and what institutions ignore today may become tomorrow's tragedy.